Welcome to Soul Elevation, guiding your ascension to new heights. I'm your host, Kara Goodwin, and I'm excited to be here with you. It is Monday, January 5th, 2026. I want to talk today about alcohol and how that affects you in ways that you may not have considered. I know that there's the mainstream understanding of the health effects, the health impacts of drinking alcohol, such as the effect on the liver and brain function. We know that with too much alcohol intake, there can be, it's difficulty in your motor skills and so forth. So I think that that is well understood by people. But there is psychic implications on your intake of alcohol. So I think it's important to bring this to light because it's not easily understood. And I know a lot of people who watch things like the Soul Elevation are interested in their energy bodies, their energetic hygiene, and they understand the effect of energy, but you may not have considered the role of alcohol in that. And in my personal journey, alcohol, I haven't had any alcohol in a long time. It's probably been about 7 years since I stopped drinking alcohol. But I had understood that I had been advised in my spiritual development to stop drinking alcohol. And it was something that kind of took me a little while before I seriously considered it. I was not interested in dogma, and it seemed just kind of like it was never really explained to me in a way that was very practical. It seemed more of like a moral thing, and it didn't resonate with me at that time. In fact, I was living in Italy at the time. It was a big part of the culture there. Just having wine was something that you just didn't even think about. It was just so ingrained in the culture. And so I really, when it came to like a moral, uh, when it was approached from a moral sense, I felt that I was a moral, ethical person anyway, and I didn't understand that alcohol really was going to move the needle for me. What made me become interested in not partaking anymore was actually when I started looking into energy healing, and I was interested in developing my skills as an energy healer. And I started to understand how our energy is affected by our choices. It's affected by our environment. It's affected even by the words that we speak and the content that we take in. Because at an energetic perspective, everything is energy and vibration. And so it was when I wanted to keep my energy strong and I wanted to make it easier for myself to be able to um, work with energy, that I stopped drinking alcohol. And so I offer my perspective and my history in case that resonates with you, because I'm not talking about this from a moral perspective. There's no judgment or shame around drinking alcohol. You're a grown up, probably, if you're watching this, and you make your own choices. So I'm not here to judge, to offer any like moral judgment. It really is around understanding energy and understanding how something like alcohol weakens your energy. And one thing that I just heard this recently, and I'm not sure that I'd ever made the connection, but alcohol, they're called spirits, and they've been called spirits for a long time. And that should make you pause if you're interested in soul development, if you're interested in spirituality, if you're interested in energy. The fact that there is this common word for alcohol, it's associated with spirits. Now, you have an energy body. Of course, you have your physical body, but you have a very real energy body. It is a part of you, your biofield. It can be measured. It can be measured psychically, but there are more and more there's more and more technology that actually measures this. I can't remember what it's called, but there's something that I've done within the last few years where you put your fingers on these fingerprint things and then it creates this digital image of your biofield. A lot of people use them, a lot of healers use them, or people who have different like I used it once when I went in this like healing pyramid thing in Sedona, and he took this bio reading, and I just put each of my fingers on this little pad, and it used this program, and then it showed my it basically looks like an aura, and it's got different layers to it, and it shows you where there are any holes or weaknesses in your aura. I was actually the guy who was running it was like, "Wow, you haven't even gone in this thing yet." He's like, it was pretty solid. I had a very strong energy field, and there really wasn't a lot of change from when I went in this chamber. And usually it was a pretty dramatic thing, but I went in this pyramid, and it was just funny. He was kind of like, well, you're pretty strong already. Um, but it is interesting how you can get readings off of this now. You can read your biofield, but it is a very real and important part of you. And what's interesting is that we maybe discount it because it's invisible. For a lot of people, it's invisible. Some people can see it. But this is what energy healers are working with. They're working with you at the biofield level, at that energetic level, and they're able to deliver more energy where there are holes, where there are vulnerabilities, and then they can also take out excess energy if there's um, like energy that's kind of too much, and or maybe it's running in the wrong direction. There are a lot of ways that our biofield is working inefficiently or it has vulnerabilities. Now, when it comes to alcohol, alcohol actually weakens this field. So, what does that mean? If you have a strong energy field, then it's coherent. It's more of you. When you have when you have vulnerabilities in your energy fields, it means that you have like gaps in it. So if you imagine like if you've torn your skin or you have like a wound in your skin and it's bloody and it might be open, that is a way that germs get into your skin. It's a way for foreign bodies to get inside your body, and you can get infections that way because there's an opening. Your skin acts as this barrier to keep you from having these foreign uh, germs in your body. It's the same thing with your energy field. If you have holes and gaps and vulnerabilities and tears in your energy field, it means that other energies that are not you, lower energies, have entry points into your energy. That means they can have access to your psyche. They can start affecting your thoughts. They can start affecting your energy, your emotions, the way that you operate. And so it's really important that you take this seriously, that you take ownership of your energy field and understand that choices that you make, like consuming alcohol or taking drugs. It's interesting to me, too, just as a side note, the way that we use language. So, going back to the fact that alcohol, there's a term for alcohol that is spirits, and that you can have spirits that can access you because they're using the alcohol as an entry point. And also, alcohol is a way to extract the spirit of a plant or to extract um, things, to use them as cleaning agents, for example. But if you think about the way that we use alcohol with plants, you can use alcohol to get the spirit of the plant out so that you can use it for like botanical uses, for like homeopathic uses, for essences. When you're getting the essence of a plant, you're using alcohol to draw the spirit of that plant for medicinal use. So, what makes us think that it doesn't work the same way? You get the same substance, you have an alcoholic's agent that you put inside your body, and it is extracting, it is like has the capability to pull some of your essence away from you, to extract some of your spirit. So, this is really important. And it is something I think that's way more powerful in my personal perspective. The the opportunity that we are giving for another force to extract our soul, to extract our spirit from us is way more dangerous than even anything that's happening to our liver or happening to our brain. Of course, those are important, but to me, that is like a no-brainer of like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would not choose to, allow anything to extract something so important. That is your life force. That is you. You want to get more of you into your body. So don't work against yourself by ingesting things that are going to weaken you and that are going to draw that out of you. You are here to experience the fullness of who you are as a soul in your body, in this 3D realm, in this earth experience, in this living, breathing experience that you have. You have the opportunity to bring the fullness of your soul essence in. That's a big part of my spiritual practice, of my meditation practice, is tuning into my higher self, to my spirit self, to myself as that invisible presence, and choosing to draw as much of that as I can into my body and asking that to flow through me, to completely be embodied as much as I possibly can, and for it to radiate out through my living experience to help everybody I come in contact with. And that is my highest prayer. That is my highest motivation. And so, any substance, any choice that I can make that helps to amplify that, I want to choose. But I also want to be informed about any habitual habits that I may have that are working counter to that. And so this is one of those hidden places in our lives where we may not understand exactly how much damage we can be doing to that endpoint of embodying as much spirit, as much of the totality of the soul that we are. So again, no shame, no guilt. It may just be that this is something that you haven't considered, and now it's time for you to start considering it and understanding the impacts and possibly making some new choices. And you can do it. One of the biggest things for me, one of the most important things for me on my journey of no longer consuming alcohol, one of the big hurdles to making that choice was what I felt were expectations from others about social engagements. And I thought that people expected me to drink because I was an adult, so I should have a glass of wine or whatever just to make everybody else more comfortable. And I had to really consider whose life I'm living and who ultimately I owe my choices to. And that was to me. It wasn't to my friends, it wasn't to my husband, it wasn't to my family. If they want to make those choices for themselves, then so be it. I'm not here to, again, not here to shame them. I'm not here to change their minds. If they're not ready, if they want the info, I'm here for them. But I needed to really understand this was important to me. And this was my choice alone to make. And it was my right to make that choice because nobody else is living my life. And it's nobody else's responsibility to give me permission to live the way that I want to live. And so when I understood, nobody's going to come in here and give me permission and nobody needs to give me permission. I get to take every step that I want to take and I am responsible for every choice that I make. And I don't answer to anybody else. So if they want to judge me or not invite me to things because they think I won't enjoy it if they're drinking, then let the chips fall where they may. But my experience has been that people don't want to exclude me because I don't drink. They understand. They as far as I can tell, nobody really cares. So, and if they do care and if I've missed some invitations because of it, then so be it. That's not what's important to me. So, I hope that you're having a happy new year, a happy start to 2026 if you're watching this anytime in the realm of when I'm recording this. But I thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Please send this on to anybody who you think might find it interesting or inspiring. Thank you for helping to spread the the word about soul elevation, helping the podcast to grow in whatever way that you can. It really does help for the content to be findable for those who need it. So thank you so much. Bless you, and I'll see you next time.